It's just a short hop of about 17 miles from Kilmore Quay to Dunmore East, a nice pleasant morning sailing. The first mile of this was spent on a transit going out to clear some rocks just outside the harbour, and that takes you back to the safe water mark by St Patrick's Bridge. As you can see, the rocks are quite close in and it's quite shallow for quite a large area around the transit, so the first thing to do was work out what the track was going to be. So with the route details open, I selected the waypoint just to check it was the right one, and you can see the leg itself turns magenta, and I can read the track as being 188. So the track is 188 magnetic, and obviously I'll need to allow some drift for that when the tide starts to kick in. Looking at the tide arrows, I can see we've got about 1.5, 1.6 knots of tide going across as we come out of the harbour from our left to our right. And so as soon as that flow starts to occur, once we get past the end of the gravel bar, I need to allow enough tide to cope with the current. Now back in where we are on the transit, it's not going to be 1.5 knots because the water's shallower and because of the effect of the coast. So I'm reckoning on about a knot, and for that I'm going to allow 10 degrees, which would give me 178. I'm going to take a bit more to make it easier to sail, so I'm going to make it 175. How I arrive at that 10 degrees is going to be the subject of a separate video. Once we go out past the gravel bar, then I need to apply that drift. So to start with, I'll head 188, and then as soon as the tide starts to pick up and I see the transits change slightly, then I'll turn left, make sure I get back on that transit line and then maintain 175. I go 0.9 miles out to St Patrick's Bridge, and when I get to the safe water mark there, I can turn towards Hook Head, which is the headland on the eastern side of the entrance to the River Suir. Dunmore East is on the western side. There are quite extensive areas of overfalls around the entrance to the River Suir, so I planned originally to go outside them, but then as we approached, as expected, they weren't there because of the time of the tide, so we actually cut the corner, went just around Hook Head close to, and then straight across to the entrance to the harbour at Dunmore East. There's quite a sizable deep water fishing fleet here, so I gave the wall a wide berth so I had better vision going in. And the visitors pontoon is immediately on your left once you go into the entrance.
Morning all, you'll be glad to know that normal service has been resumed. Had a Guinness last night, 9 hours sleep and the sun shining. And today's the first day that I'm actually not wearing my waterproof jacket. I've just got a lightweight hoodie on because it's lovely and warm. And yeah, we're on our way. So behind us over there is Kilmore Quay. Fascinated once again by this St Patrick's Bridge. I don't know whether you can see the marks over there. So what has to happen when you come out of the harbour here is there are two transit marks on the shore that you have to use to come out on that line. Come out as far as the safe water mark, and then if we were turning left, we'd be going back over the bridge over there, but we're turning right as soon as we get to the safe water mark. So we're heading to Dunmore East, which is where my favourite cousin lives, so I'm looking forward to that. That's put a smile on my face today. It's not a long passage, so we're not going to be taking that long. It's so flat today that I'm actually going to go downstairs and have a shower, so that I look my very best for you, Carmel, and we will see you later.
Hook Head Lighthouse is one of the oldest in the world, built by the Earl of Pembroke in the 12th century. The entry into Dunmore East is easy to find and is uncomplicated. There's plenty of water for a cruising boat and the pontoon is in good condition. Facilities and the harbour office are all at the top of the sea wall, so just walk back towards the shore and you'll trip over it. Dunmore East is a fabulous little town. There's a great pub for seafood called the Old Strand, which is on the beach at the eastern end of the village. It's about a 3/4 mile walk from the harbour. There are a couple of shops to get resupplies and a couple of other good pubs and another hotel which has got a good restaurant. There's a bus service into Waterford and excellent coastal walks to be had. We had to wait a few days for weather here before crossing to the Isles of Scilly, but it was a really lovely few days because it's a cracking spot. Next time I would probably plan to be here for a few days by choice because there's so much to do. What a lovely place. Well, I hope you found that interesting or useful, or better still both. If so, don't forget, please click that like button, hit subscribe, hit that bell icon. These things all really help the channel grow. Do come back soon.